Take a look at this CBS News tweet telling companies how to fight Georgia's new voting law. Really? That's journalism? Is that being unbiased? Let's bring in Adam Guillette. Adam, CBS News has since deleted that tweet. Oops. But only after some major backlash. What do you make of that?
Well, the only thing surprising here to me is that they deleted the tweet. And it's amazing because when they put a new one up there, they basically admit what we have been saying at Accuracy in Media for a while now, that they are activists, not journalists. They deleted their tweet and they put up a new one saying, here's how activists can fight the Georgia voter law. Because that's exactly what they are at CBS. They're activists.
Yeah, they are, and they just kind of gave us a quick peek behind the curtain, and we know from definitely now where the journalists at CBS are coming from. That's the narrative that they are going with. I want another one to discuss with you, Adam. CNN's Jim Acosta says journalists are dealing with post-Trump stress disorder. Roll the tape, and then we'll talk about it.
I'd love to hear from both of you how D.C. journalists are adjusting to the Biden era. Do you feel like your rundown, your lineup is really different than it would have been in the Trump years?
When you're asking me if I was run down, I thought you were referring to how I felt during the Trump era. No, I think that, listen, I think we're all dealing with some post-Trump stress disorder.
You know what? I believe that's, look, there are military veterans out there suffering from real PTSD. So I think it demeans that side of the argument. But also, who the heck is Jim Acosta anyway? He's upset because he's not making himself the center of attention with the Trump administration. But what's your response, Adam?
Well, what you say is exactly right. Jim Acosta wants the story to always be about Jim Acosta, but that does speak to a major problem they have right now. During the Trump era, they could make up any Trump story, make up any Trump fan fiction, and sell it to their left-wing audience that was hungry for anti-Trump stories. Now they're faced with the problem, well, what do? There's no Trump around to make stories up about. You and I would say that the thing to do is actually cover the Biden administration fairly, but I don't imagine that's something they're going to consider in the near future. Certainly not Jim Acosta.
Certainly not. And you know what? They're, I think, guilty of ignoring some big issues. The border, for instance, they're trying to say that it's a Republican fabrication, that it's, quote unquote, a crisis. But then again, they won't let any journalists in, to see behind the scenes. It is a crisis created by this administration who said, come one, come all. And yet the mainstream media is really not giving it the attention it deserves. Would you agree?
Oh, unquestionably. I thought that journalists were here to speak truth to power. Well, when the power is Biden, they don't seem interested in truth at all. We were told that Trump was against the media and a fascist because he was mean to them. The Biden administration is literally blocking them from photographing the border. Isn't that what we have journalists for, to cover stories like that, to educate the American public? Biden administration won't allow it. It's outrageous.
It is. Talking of outrageous, I want to get back to CBS. 60 Minutes, Adam, being accused of selectively editing an interview with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Here's a bit of what they did play. Let's roll that.
Publix, as you know, donated $100,000 to your campaign, and then you rewarded them with the exclusive rights to distribute the vaccination in Palm Beach.
First of all, what you're saying is wrong.
How is that not pay to play?
That's a fake narrative. I met with the county mayor, I met with the administrator, I met with all the folks at Palm Beach County, and I said, here's some of the options. We can do more drive-through sites. We can give more to hospitals. We can do the Publix. And they said, we think that would be the easiest thing for our residents.
But you know what, Adam? That wasn't the governor's entire answer, right?
Yeah, that's it. They took him out of context. But let's understand, this is the first of many cheap shots we're going to see from the media at Ron DeSantis. He is their public enemy number one. In a pandemic world where they built up Gavin Newsom and Andrew Cuomo as if they were our global heroes, and the two of them have come crumbling down, Ron DeSantis has proven to be the winner of COVID. His policies where he ended the lockdowns, he ended the mandates, and instead of bringing the destruction that they said would come, all it brought was economic opportunity and mass migration. He's public enemy number one for the media because he proved them wrong.
And yet all those people from liberal states have been pouring into his states. That's the irony. He's kind of the new Donald Trump for the media, I think. But Adam Guillette, thank you, Adam, so much for joining us this morning. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.